Don't kill me, please. Okay, good. Hi, how are you? If you are still building a Poj Tempest Rush monk, this is the right video for you. And I will be talking about two things also here. The first one, what makes the builds stronger that you shouldn't be missing. And the number two, what is the best sequence to farm the loot so that you don't have to waste time and materials. Okay, let's check it out. Alright, first thing first, for Poj Monk Tempest Rush, this is the first thing what you should consider is the cooldown reductions. Okay, let's check it here. We almost have every piece or every cooldown on every piece of the gears, including the weapon and 2 rings. Okay, but don't have to worry if you can survive. Maybe you can get this to if you are lucky with area damage, just go for it, even for the rings. Alright, like this. Area damage is quite good also. So basically you are at 65% cooldown reduction to 70%. So even 65 is playable. Okay, if in maximum it should be good because your epiphany will be up all the times, almost all the time, which gives you more toughness and survivability. This is quite important because this build is not as too tough for you, so you need the epiphany as much as possible. Alright, for the build I will be sharing a link where you can get a detailed planner link from me about these builds, and also I have a build for 1.5 Paragon where you should use a Guardian set, and you don't need too much of cooldown reduction in this build, but of course the strongest will be Captain Crimson where you need to use Unity, and this is the weaker one but the easiest one to play. So let's check it out. Okay, remember to check for yourself. Okay, besides of cooldown reduction for your toughness, the next thing you must consider is area damage. This build rely on a heavy area damage. Maybe you can have it in the rings. Maybe you can check here for yourself. Okay, we try to have as much as possible the area damage for the build. Okay, let's say you have one primer's Shen Long in here, the main hand. If you are quite unlucky, what you should consider, never, okay, let me repeat, never look at the damage range because the boost is quite low. Say I have the worst one damage. Okay, it's okay to have the worst damage range, but you must remember you always need area damage more than anything. If you don't believe, you can check for the damage. 10.9, right? How about I have a maximum? What we get here? That's not much different. Okay, now it's 11.75. 11.75 will be minus the lowest damage range 1318 and 6. How much you lost the damage? minus 10 point. Okay, just make it to 11. Divide by 11 times 100. So it will be around 6.8%, 6.82%. This is what what I try to mean here. When you get the worst damage range, you only lost like 6.8 to 7%. That's the maximum. So don't bother much about the offhand damage range. Rather, you should focus on area damage first. This one come in second. Yeah, hope you get it. Okay, let's look at the graph here. This is the POJ graph. This is the gear which you need. Okay, here I have information about the drop rate. Let's look at the glove here. Drop rate is 1 out of 11, and to get a perfect roll, there's a 1% chance. So based on drop rate and the perfect rolls, it will be total as a 0.09%, which is quite low to get it. So normally for the left arm, for the glove, you will be using normal. It's okay to use normal than ancient or primer, which you don't get area damage and cooldown reduction. Is quite bad actually. So why not just using the normal? Because the augmentation is not a big deal actually. This is the augmentation, where you can see here, Karazhan Despair. This is not so important. If your roll is shit, you better to get a normal glove with area and cooldown reduction, and of course double click. Okay, double click. Okay, let's continue to these pictures. Let's look at the right corner here, the top camber from Gadala here. So basically you are doing all the gambling on especially the bracers. This is the one, what we call it Caesar's Memento, because it gives you a lot of damage where you need it as near as 800%, like this one. What is the range? 600 to 800. So basically you will be doing gambling all the times on your races. Okay, once you get a quite okay or good races, then you can continue to have your glove, because it's quite difficult to get one also. This is the first top 2 of a gambler where you should do. Okay, now you get what should gamble from Kadalar. Okay, the second part of the topic is top Kanai Page 2. Okay, we don't do Kanai Page 2 on amulet first, but we're doing on the offhand weapon. The first hand you are going to do is what we see here, Kanai Page 11. Better to do one of the Shen Long. Yeah, the other one do Kanai Page 2. So that's why Shen Long will be the offhand Shen Long. You should do Page 2 to get a better roll as this one. Okay, especially area damage and cooldown reduction. Okay, you can have a shit range damage, but at least you must have a good area damage, and then followed by cooldown reduction. After you get the after you finish your Kanai Page 2 on Shen Long, then you should focus on Convention of Element. This is one of the bigger boosts for the build. in terms of damage. So you should consider on convention. The least one is a Squid Necklace because it's quite inconsistent. Sorry, it's quite inconsistent here compared to COE. So I would suggest like this. You should try to use any amulet which give you cold double crit. Okay, as long as they give you cold and double crit, you just use this as a temporary before you get a good Squid Necklace. Okay, hope you get what I mean. And let's look down what we have here. Note, first note is Shen Long. Second, Squid can reload by Kanai Page. Yeah, this is quite important. Look at the note 2 here. Okay, Squid Necklace can reload by Kanai Page 2 from Necromancer, which become more easier as Necromancer only have physical, cold and poison. Okay, this is a cold damage build, so I would suggest you use Necromancer to do Kanai Page 2 to get the amulet, Squid Necklace amulet. Okay, what about note 3? Once you are done with Season Memento, this is the bracers. You gamble glove. A good glove worth a lot damage than the ancient primer. Yeah, I've just mentioned just now. Summary: spend material in correct way and by good order for gaining more power. Okay, one last thing I should talk about is augmentations. No matter what phase you are at, even you are still in farming, you are doing inner farming, I suggest you do augmentations. Okay, for the inner and also for your POJ as early as possible, because the boost is quite massive. Okay, in early game or farming phase. Okay, so that you can do a higher greater rift. Higher greater rift will give you more paragons in the end. So what are you waiting